Hello Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the old podcast channel for your sofa briefing. And today we are going to be going over the one, the only, the Sarah, the Boones, okay? So her appellant lawyer has responded, and we're just going to go over that document, okay? So keep in mind, who is Sarah Boone, you might be asking. Sarah Boone is currently serving a life sentence in prison for the death and murder of her boyfriend, George Torres. She essentially manipulated him into a suitcase and left him there overnight where he asphyxiated. And this was a trial that went on for years and years and years. She represented herself. It was total drama. So if you like drama trials like that, go back and watch this one from the very beginning. Okay. So today we're going to be taking a close look at a recent filing in the ongoing criminal appeal of Sarah Boone. It's a case out of Orange County, Florida. So the document at the center of today's episode is titled Motion to Withdraw and Request for Appointment of New Appellant Counsel. Now, in basic SOFA terms, it's a formal request by Sarah Boone's appellant lawyer to step down representing her and to get a new lawyer appointed for her ongoing appeal. Okay, so who all is involved in the situation and the appeal? Well, let's break it down real quick. So the case, like I said, is the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. The court is the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, and the lawyer requesting the withdrawal is Joshua E. Adams. Now, this was the court-appointed conflict counsel. Now, the current status is that Sarah Boone's previous appeal has been filed. All the proper paperwork has been submitted. So we're going to see what happens with that, right? So let's talk about why the lawyer is withdrawing, okay? Now, there's the obvious thing, because it's Sarah Boone, Paul. Well, there's a little bit more to it than that, okay? Now, what is going on here? Okay, so lawyer Mr. Adams explains to the court that he is no longer practicing appellant work, right? So that means that he just doesn't handle appeals anymore, and he isn't taking on these type of cases. Now, he says that continuing to represent Sarah Boone could be a hardship and could hurt his ability to provide effective legal help. In other words, he's basically being upfront with the court where he's like, look, I can't do the job like I need to, and it's best for Sarah and in the whole situation if someone else steps in. So what happens when this takes place? Okay, well, under the Florida law, so people like Sarah who can't afford a lawyer and whatnot in these situations, they have to have one appointed by the court at all times in these kind of appeals. So when the lawyer withdraws, the court needs to basically get another one in there, right? And this is either going to be from the public defender's office, a regional counsel, or a private attorney from a court-approved list. Now, I don't know if Sarah Boone's on that list herself, but I think she definitely learned her lesson with representing herself. But that ain't slowed her down from writing letters, okay? Now, Mr. Adams asked the court to do a few different things, okay? Number one, allow him to step down officially. Number two, appoint a new lawyer for Sarah Boone. And number three, provide any other relief that is fair and proper under the circumstances, okay? Now, he also includes Sarah Boone's current contact information in there. She's at the Lowell Annex Correctional Institution in Ocala, Florida, and is legally required he notify the Attorney General's office of this filing. It's all very formal, it's all very official, it's all very credentialed, all that type of stuff. And like making sure to follow the appellant procedure and submit everything properly in this, that, and the other. Now, the paperwork itself was filed like maybe a couple of weeks ago, depending on when you were watching this. It was on July 28th, 2025. So where do we go from here, right? What does this mean for Sarah? What does this mean for the Boones? Okay, well, basically, we're just going to see what happens with the new lawyer, right? A new lawyer is going to come in, however this pans out, okay? So here's the thing. If you follow the Sarah Boone case, then right? This is par for the course. Now, again, while this might be something where the attorney's like, hey, look, I'm not doing this. This is just how this goes. And these situations where these cases drag on forever and ever and ever, people are changing careers, people are doing things, and sometimes that can work in the defendant's behavior, now, in their behavior, in their situation, right? Cops retire, investigators retire, witnesses die, these kinds of things, right? So here's the thing with Sarah specifically. One of the things that goes on, and this should be the case with anything, but especially with this, these attorneys, all these people, they know what they're dealing with Sarah, right? It's going to be a nightmare. She's proven that. So they want to make sure to dot their I's and cross their T's. And like this person right here being like, hey, I'm not even doing this kind of work anymore. This is a blessing in disguise for this man, okay? I mean, point blank, period, end of story. Because she's probably, well, we already saw, she sat there and wrote the court saying, hey, where's my lawyer? You know, I've been contacting, I'm not getting anything, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. Sarah expects Neiman Marcus customer service level out of the judicial system. And it's like, ma'am, this is a Wendy's, okay? You know what I'm saying? This is, if ever there was like, ma'am, this is a Wendy's moment, it is what Sarah Boone expects out of the judicial system and whatnot. And I'm not trying to say that there shouldn't be some level of like, hey, I get as a human being, it's frustrating. You're trying to get a hold of somebody, I'm not getting answers. But again, their take on it is they know you ain't going anywhere, okay? They're doing all their stuff behind the scenes. And if they're reaching out to you when the few times that these type lawyers do and whatnot and get up with you to be like, hey, this is what's shaking, whatever, and you're being difficult, and you're being combative, and you're being nasty, they're people too. Right? They don't want to sit there and deal with that. So if it's like a, no, you know what? She ain't going nowhere. She's in Ocala State Prison, right? She's going to be there. When I do reach out, she's nasty to me. She's condescending. So she's going to hear everything through official channels, you know? And again, that could be another thing too, where some of these attorneys, they want to be sure like, hey, this is just, you're going to hear from the official people because I don't even want to deal with you for fear of you trying to come up and run my name through the mud or do this or do that or whatever, right? So again, my opinion on this is this will go on for years and years and years, okay? Now, I know that she also has the family court drama going on. I have not been following that. If you do want to follow that, you're going to want to check out Tanika's channel. And she follows like all these proceedings in the family drama and her, you know, her comments. There's all the good tea like that or whatever. Definitely check out Tanika's channel for that. And she has a great personality as well. But these cases, so we're talking criminal and family, are going to go on probably for the rest of her life, okay? She ain't going nowhere. She's stuck in prison. She's not going to get an appeal. If she does get an appeal, she'll wind up right back there. The evidence is horrifyingly not good for her, right? She should have taken that plea deal and she could have been halfway home, but it is what it is. So this is just another thing to get attention. And again, the appeals process is just, this is natural. Anyone would be doing this, right? Like anyone would, even no matter how guilty you are, unless you were just like, I don't care, you know, I want to go to the chair, I just want to do my time, whatever, you're going to be trying to get an appeal. You know, there's nothing else to do, right? It's probably kind of boring. I think she probably has more stuff to do in prison than she did in jail, so that kind of helps. But nonetheless, this is Sarah Boone we're talking about. She does not see anything wrong with what she did, and I'm sure that that extends over to her family court drama too. So she's going to sit here, and this is fun to her. She gets to write letters and do appeals. She's cosplaying an attorney, right? This is her, how she's doing her time. She is cosplaying a high profile, fancy New York attorney, okay? So it is what it is. I'm here for the cheap entertainment. So that's it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I do appreciate you watching over here. Now don't forget, I have my main channel. If you're not familiar with it, I do deeper dives and stuff like that. Over here we go live, do quick updates, things like that over here on this channel. So be sure and check them all out down in the description below. And until we gather back around this old microphone, I'll see y'all soon.